Hello, my name is Alexander Podkholodzen. I'm working on JetBrains. Do you know JetBrains? We are doing IntelliJ IDEA, and I'm doing Scala plugin for IntelliJ IDEA. So today we will talk about future of Scala code review. And as I'm Scala plugin guy, I'll add some news and gossips about IntelliJ IDEA and Scala plugin. This is the last talk and the last talk of this show, so I'll try to be short and don't break your head. So what is code review practice in general? To be as short as possible, it's the most efficient way to improve quality of your product. So now it's time to ask you, who uses code review practice for every commit? And do you use tools for that? Probably GitHub is also a tool, So, and do you like this tool? Do you have? Okay, yes. So for those who don't like the tool or just don't use code review practice at all, if somebody suggests you to do code review for every commit in your project, the usual reaction is something like this one. So the similar situation and similar story was in JetBrains. We started to use code review a few years ago. We used for that some well-known tool. Okay, that time it was well-known. Now it's GitHub, okay. But the end of story is Upsource, because it's the usual situation in JetBrains. We were tired with existing tool, and we decided to invent the new one, perfect one. So what is Upsource? I'll add just a few more general words because I like Upsource very much. It's definitely a game changer because it brings IDE into your browser. And it's also lightweight and easy to use. So somebody needs to stop me to be short. So let's continue with demo. Here, the main page with project list, and only Scala is listed here. So it's the small local instance of Upsource. And the sad news is that Scala support and SBT support is not yet available in Upsource. So for Scala project, I had to hack it and add IDEA projects rebased to Git repository just for this show. But this is just to be honest. Actually, later we will, the next version of Source will be released with, of course, SBT and Scala support. So I'm talking here about future of Scala code review. But as you are reactive guys, you probably like futures. So let's go into Scala project. As I said, I hacked it, so it's rebased, and you can see that history is in one line. So we need to press more and more and even more. When we'll start to see nice Git tree here, and it's actual Git tree of Scala project. Here we also can see inlined changes, so we can take a look for any change in this timeline. But this is a review tool, code review tool. So how to create review? It's simple. We can search for any revision. It's fast, and then in one click we can create a review. The first magic and amazing thing that we can assign review automatically. So we can just press this button and see 2 reviewers for this new review. It's based not only on history of files and who changed these files, it also has some smart logic to balance reviews between teammates. So it's great. Okay, what's next? How to work with review. Here we're on Scala page, and we can see newsfeed, and also we can see reviews. So one of the reviews is assigning to our user. It's not me, and he has to review it. So let's open it. Of course, simple things is available here. So you can, for example, comment for whole review. You can accept review or reject. And of course you can comment for any line. Here you can see that we have some duplicated lines, so we can point to the author of the commit about that. And that's great. This is one of the simple things which are available in all code review tools. And also side-by-side difference is also part of well-known things. So let's open it. And let's expand to the whole file. And now we can see inspection. This is some powerful and very important thing for us in IntelliJ IDEA. But here we can see it right here in our Upsource. So it suggests us to remove redundant brace. So we can, for example, we are reviewing this review, but we found some problem in code. We can comment this on selection. We can mention anybody, but we can just say that redundant brace. But as this comment is not for review, we can attach it for the whole code base. So let's add it as comment. And now we can see this comment in any revision. So this is comment which is part of your code, like to-do command. But it is better than to-do command because you don't need to add this into your code, so your code is still clean. And the second thing is that you can discuss this right in this right for this part of the code. So you have the next dimension of your to-do. I'm not going to show you complete IDE support for Upsource, but it's interesting to take a look for part of commenting and to-dos in your IDE. So let's open IntelliJ IDEA, and you can see here some Upsource segments, so we can open discussion right in your IDE. So it's like to-do command with discussion feature. And you also can fix problem and resolve it right here. So you don't need, you don't have a lot of problems. And still this is resolved, but you still can have history about this discussion and take a look. So it's simple and neat. But this is not killer feature. And we're here because Upsource is bigger than just a code review tool. The most important feature is navigation feature. So right here in Upsource, we can navigate to any reference from any revision. So let's try it. We don't see here. Okay, let's try to. We can see, for example, if you want to take a look just for Scala doc, we can see it right here. But if we want more, we can go to declaration and we will see new file where this trait was defined. Okay. And that's not all. We can completely analyze all the file. So it's all IntelliJ IDEA inspections is available here. So for example, you can take a look for this part, and here the map get or else, which can be simplified into exist method. And it's available right in your browser, so you don't need to open IDE and spend and waste your time for that. And this is not also all. You also can find usages for any definition, class, or trait. So let's open our trait. Where is it? Sorry. Okay, Scala base. So let's try to find usages of it. You can see lots of usages, and you can navigate to any of it. 45 usages. And it's really important during code review, because when you are reviewing some code, you sometimes need to take a look for usages if it's everything is actually fixed or not. So every person who wants to do quality review has to find usages. So now you don't need to patch your local version and take a look in IDE. You can do it right in your browser. So this is great, and also Upsource has some small features which are available in GitHub, like analytics. So you can take a look for contributions, and you see this neat UI. So you can take a look for 1 year, for example, and see the most active contributor for this last 1 year in Scala project. And for any year, of course. So this is great, but we have some sad news. The first is that current Upsource release doesn't have Scala navigation feature and doesn't have SBT support, which required for a navigation feature. And the third sad news is that it doesn't have pre-commit reviews. So, as it always in our world, anything is not perfect, so we have some problems. But good news is that next Upsource release will have navigation features and will have SBT support. And we are going to release it with hosted solution, which will support pull requests right on Upsource. Right now it supports GitHub pull requests as part of some branch which you can view and review as some revision. It's available, so we can review that. So it's actually replaces pre-commit review. But with hosted solution, you can comment and see it right on your Upsource instance. For Scala, you really can use Upsource right now. So, because syntax highlighting is already available, you will not have navigation feature, but you will have it with the next release. So how it works? Upsource is completely based on IntelliJ IDEA. And the tricky thing was indexes of IntelliJ IDEA, because it's big amount of memory on disk, and it requires time to create these indexes. And Upsource requires indexes for all revisions, so it's like lots of IntelliJ IDEAs for every revision. So it was implemented in incremental way, so we just need to create a difference of indexes for every new revision. So it's fast and neat. And when you open some file, it highlights on server like IntelliJ IDEA does. So quite good. Okay, so this is talking about the future because Upsource is part of future. And this is one of the steps towards web-based IDE. It's a small step because it still requires lots of work to bring editing into browser. It's hard work. But I hope that in future we will have such instances of web Upsource or anything where you can just open it and just press run. You don't need to set up anything to compile or download dependencies. Just press run and it will be there. So you can make small changes and run, and everything is hosted and clouded and so on. So that's great future, but far future, of course. So let's continue to talking about reality. So let's continue with talking about IntelliJ IDEA. So just for curiosity, who is using IntelliJ IDEA here? Okay, that's really cool. Great. So let's start from two questions. What's already done and what's next? Two simple questions. So now we're at the point of Scala plugin 1.5.2. We released it yesterday, okay? Just to be, just to give you something new right now. Probably the sad news is that for IntelliJ 14, it's the last major version. I mean, 1.5 is the last one. And we are going to add only bug fixes for IntelliJ 14. And new features will come only with IntelliJ 15 version. It's not just only because we want you to inspire to upgrade to IntelliJ 15. It's not just for money. It's also because of quality of product. So we want to bring more quality. So if somebody wants more stable Scala plugin, so he can get these minor updates and plugin will stabilize and get better and better. So, and if somebody wants something newer and new features, he can try earlier previews and upgrade to IntelliJ 15 right after the release. So what we have now? We have, okay, this slide is self-describing. And let's continue about features. We recently improved a lot change signature. So it's some feature which you definitely need to use. Probably you think that it can be buggy, but no, it's cool. You now can invoke change signature, and the most amazing thing, for example, you can split into more parameter lists. So now, right now we have 2 parameter lists. If you want, we can split into 3 one. And we can, for example, rename some parameter, new basic. So right, you can see that right now we have 3 parameter lists, and all usages were now have calls with 3 parameter lists, and usages of parameter also renamed. So it's really, really complex and important refactoring, so you can freely use it in your development. What's next? Extract parameter is like part of change signature feature. It's just a small part of change signature because you are adding new parameter here. So I want to show that it's still possible to create one more, for example, parameter list here. So you can, for example, move it at the first parameter and split into 2 parameter lists. So now you can see here the default value, and you can see that usage was correctly replaced because even default value requires a parameter list, empty parameter list. So I'm just trying to inspire you to use these features because you know that people usually say that IntelliJ is great IDE because it's just not crashing. I mean, Eclipse crashes every 3 hours, and IntelliJ not. So this is great. But actually, IntelliJ can do more. It can do a lot of smart things and cool refactorings. And even more, some simple things which don't require you to know them, because you can just type and see these features. Like, for example, parameter named completion. So, for example, you can just start typing project, and you will see 4 projects here, which can be imported here. And we don't need to write name and then import some type of this parameter. We just type name of the parameter. So IntelliJ can guess that you want some special type here. So let's import here. You can see that it's completed and right project was imported here. And we have also fixes for some language problems. I mean, sometimes Java has lots of problems, so IntelliJ did great job for fixing Java language problem. Scala has much less problems, but still it has some compatibility problems. For example, interpolated strings. It was implemented in such a way when you need to add some letter S before the string. So when you start to type string, my name is, for example, then you realize you need string interpolation. So it's a language problem actually, because you can generally you can just escape $sign in string, but because of compatibility they require to make some different syntax. And IntelliJ right now also able to fix this compatibility problem. So we can put here $sign and just see completion, complete name, and this is interpolated string. That's all. And if we want something more complicated, we can put my name is $ and then open brace, and it's already interpolated string. So small but really productive. And one of the well-known features of IntelliJ IDEA, and as you saw, feature in Upsource, it's inspections on collections, which helps a lot to simplify your code. So we introduced some new inspections, and this is really great because it teaches you to write better Scala. So here, for example, we have string text, and we want to create text option. For example, we got this string from Java, which doesn't have option type. And now we probably want to do that like if text equals null, then none, else some. But it's wrong because we could just do option of text. And this is probably you here is experienced Scala developer, so it's not your mistake. But you can hire some newbies, and IntelliJ will help them to not to make such mistakes. So you even will not need code review tool to fix such problems because they'll see them in editor. So other problems is like comparing option with some of things when we can just invoke contains method, and the worst case when you're trying to extract keys, you are doing map on _._1, which is not really good. We can just invoke keys. And the last thing I want to show you is advanced implicit parameter analyzer. It's hard to understand sometimes, so this picture is also very, very complex. So let me show you on a simple example how it works. So let's create object. Let's create class A and object A, where we can create implicit value A. And let's create class B with object B, where we have implicit definition B, which requires A, for example. This is simple. So if somebody requires B, so we need to recursively use B and then A. So let's create method foo, which implicitly requires B. So now we can invoke this foo method. And it's hard to understand what actually was put here and what definition was passed to this function. And with IntelliJ IDEA, you can invoke implicit parameters feature, where you can analyze full path of definitions which were passed here to this call. But this is not all. We, for example, can comment something like implicit definition B. So now it's wrong code. It's not highlighted by IntelliJ IDEA. You will see that it's wrong by compiler. But with IntelliJ IDEA right now, you can analyze what's wrong. So you can take a look that parameter wasn't found for type B. And you can see that there is no any applicable implicits for type B.
Why it's not highlighted directly without explicitly asking, is it correct?
The answer is that we still have some problems where something correct is highlighted wrongly. So we don't want to grow this problem. So we want to fix, to make more stable current situation, so then we will add it. You know that it's quite simple to add because we know everything about current case. But we just don't want to make experience of users worse because of new highlighting. But here we can, for example, remove A implicit parameter. So now we can find B, but it requires A and it can't find it. And it's still, you still can analyze that. So you can find that B is available here, but we can't find implicit parameter for B. And then we can see that actually applicable by type A implicits just were not found here. So it's a tool for analyzing implicits. I'm sure that it's not really popular tool. I mean that you don't need it every day. But when you need it, actually, it can save you a lot of time. Yes. So what's next? Okay, this is also self-describing slide. It means that our focus is on quality and stability. So this is the point when a lot of people use IntelliJ IDEA, so we need to improve feelings from our product. And of course we need new features, yes. So some new features, all of this is huge features. So the first one is Akka debugger. We want to bring possibility to debug between threads. So it's really important for Akka. The second is Scala meta support. So we are working with Eugene, and we want to bring macro support into IntelliJ IDEA because it's important part of Scala language. We are working with Josh, who is doing SBT server. So we are doing SBT remote support, so we hope IntelliJ 15 will have it. So and it's also very, very hard work, but we will do that because it will bring really good feelings with SBT. And right now, who of you is using Play support in IntelliJ IDEA? Not so much. I think that you are not using SBT compiler in IntelliJ IDEA because it's so slow. And one of our important things we want to implement is to bring compiler into IDE, so you don't need command line at all. So that's all. I tried to be short, and thank you. Any questions? Okay, yes. Okay, great, thank you.
So question about Upsource. First off, looks really fantastic. It solves a lot of problems that my team wasn't trying to solve. So very interesting progress. You mentioned that it has done analysis for every revision in the repo. So what happens if we try and drop this into a large, very large repo that's existed forever? Lots and lots of events that we will spend the next century of time trying to index it in fast, or we'll just do it in fast.
Okay, is it question about what about complicated projects with Upsource? Yes?
With very large projects that take a long time to index at every revision, and with a lot of revisions, if you try and drop this in, is it going to work fine as is, or is it going to sit there and try and index every historical revision?
Actually, right now we are indexing about 30 days. I don't know. So we will not index whole project. So if you want more than 30 days, if you want to review something old, you can change the setting. And what about new revisions? It works like in IDE. So when you change file, it's instantly re-indexed. So when your new revision is added, so it's just few files were changed in this. So indexing is incremental and requires not a lot of changes to that. So it should be fast. What? It's just for 30 days. So, I mean that initial start of indexes is 30 days ago, something like that. So then it incrementally indexes for this 1 month, and you can start using it, and it will become faster. So when you try, for example, if you want to put not Scala project, it's Java project, IntelliJ IDEA project. It's really, really huge project and has lots of revisions. So initial start of IntelliJ IDEA, it's up to 2 days. So just to reindex everything and understanding the code base.
What we saw earlier, so you can perform reviews on something that is already on the master branch.
Reviews?
What we saw earlier
Okay.
were reviews.
Reviews, okay.
Yeah, that were on code that is already in the master branch.
Yeah, you can review what is already in some branch, so it should be in the repository. So there is no pre-commit review.
Okay, so in order for the code to go into the master branch, anybody can do that?
Anybody can create reviews on any revision, master or any other branch.
So after the review process, where does how would be your recommendation for the life cycle of putting that change set into the code base that will be for delivering the product without having negative impact on the program, on the product? So something like saying we have three colleagues that perform reviews for one and for one another, but only let's say the development lead has the opportunity to say, okay, this code is good to go in the productive program.
Okay, probably.
So do you take into account this for the future, or do you recommend a different way of working in order to prevent let's say low quality reviews to be the base for the code going into production?
Okay, so
Accepting pull requests to be merged. So
yeah.
If you talked about that the new version will have the pull request support.
yes, it
so
is.
I just assume the pull request could be merged only if it is approved by someone who.
Yes, yes. But still, the question, as I understood, that quality of review can be poor. So even because of review, something bad can be in production. Is it true?
So I'm talking about I saw there are only two buttons, accept and reject.
Yes.
And do you take into account another button from a higher role that says, okay, this code can go in the code base for production?
I think the sad thing, the code review doesn't automatically merge.
Yes, it doesn't automatically merge. Yes.
Just the confirmation for that code review. You just see the code review through, and then you can go on to normal workflow.
Actually, Upsource is on the beginning, so we are looking for some practices and how to do the code review flow in more right way. So we can observe for any other practices, and if you need some features, you can file a ticket, and we are open to them, and probably we will update this for better experience. Okay, yes.
If you want to use Upsource, is it necessary to use the web application, or can you do all the features that we saw from within the IDE itself?
Currently,
No, in the future as a strategic thing for Upsource.
in future, Upsource will be available as hosted solution, so in cloud. So you can have a Git repository right on our servers, and it also will be available as standalone solution.